One, two, one, two, three.
Welcome to the Sneaking in the Movies podcast. I'm Max Nathan.
And I'm Norman Davis. And this week, we're joined by some very special guests to talk about our most anticipated movies of 2025. Max, do you want to introduce our guests?
Yes, I do. Today, we have Stanley Turner, former child,
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
and Veer Misra, current not child.
What's up? Where we at with it?
Nice to have y'all.
Yes. And today, we're going to be talking about our most anticipated movies of the year, as Norman said. So let's get right into it. On January 3rd, we got Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul. Should be pretty cool. I haven't seen a Wallace and Gromit movie since Curse of the Were-Rabbit, I think. But I do like Aardman, what they do. Animation is cool. So yeah. Y'all got any thoughts on that one?
That's gonna bang. I love those guys.
Yeah.
Happy to see them back. I didn't realize it was coming out this soon. Or I guess it came out in the UK early already. So
Yeah, I think
I've
people have seen it.
talking about
Yeah.
it. But
I've never been disappointed by a Wallace and Gromit movie, so I'm on board. It's not something that I follow closely. In fact, I feel like it's something that I found as a kid, just like digging through, movie trading company piles.
Yeah.
But like,
R.I.P. Movie Trading Company. Or
no,
at least
there's
by
still
me.
one up.
There's still one
Hey,
up?
Yeah, Dallas, Texas. Come on. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be a good one.
So next up, we've got One of Them Days, the buddy comedy starring Keke Palmer and SZA as roommates on a quest to find money that was stolen by a boyfriend, coming out on January 17th. I know y'all have a lot of thoughts on this. What's going on with One of Them Days?
This is going to be the best movie of 2025.
Wow.
Believe me when I say it. It's purely because I like the 10 seconds of the trailer with Cat Williams.
Yes,
Um,
those are good
And if
10
he was a
seconds.
good omen for
10
2024,
seconds.
I believe the same thing will happen for 2025. It looks like a cool return to star-driven movies. I like that a lot.
Yeah. This it's definitely the kind of thing that doesn't really get made very often anymore, like a star-driven buddy comedy. They used to dominate kind of in like the, late 2000s. You had Superbad, and you had all those, Seth Rogen productions and that kind of thing. You had 21 Jump Street kind of in that time. But there's not as much of that anymore, and this should be a cool like return to that. Could, put Keke Palmer into, a different class of star. Like she's, rising every day, and this could put her in another class if this really, blows up. And could kickstart SZA's acting career. I think,
Yeah.
she's very funny in the trailer, so like should be cool to see.
I
Yeah.
feel like although we're at a time where the film stars are maybe at their weakest, music is like the opposite. So
Absolutely.
the
Sure.
the SZA transition could really make for something interesting, because I think no one commands a fan base like that if we're talking about someone who's never starred in a movie before. And I've got really high hopes for this one because I know she's funny, and I know Keke Palmer is like one of the funniest people that acts. So
Yeah.
I'm really hyped for this one for sure.
Yeah. Shout out Nope. She's fantastic in that movie.
One of the
Yeah,
greatest movies
definitely.
ever.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And yeah, I think with movies like this too, if they capture the right audience, like that's something that's going to stick with them for a very long time. Like those movies you mentioned, Superbad, the Jump Street movies, like all those early Seth Rogen comedies. I think I can speak for myself, maybe y'all too, but I feel like we were at that age where when we watched those movies, they're movies we've taken with us still to this day. I watch the Jump Street movies at least once a year. I always go back to Superbad, and yeah, this is cool. This is something we're missing. So
Yeah.
Those
Yeah, I
movies
also
just
love
have
that,
cultural
oh,
footprint
my bad.
on like a
You go.
different level.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think it's about having characters that are, there's no one as unique as McLovin. Like that's just McLovin. There's no
Yeah.
one else in the conversation. So, if Keke Palmer, SZA, and definitely Cat Williams definitely looks like it, his character are creating these really singular types of people that don't really fit neatly into genres of protagonists that we typically see, I think that can really give this movie something interesting and give us as the audience something that'll sit with us for a long time. I think that's the main reason why I'm really hyped for this like stoner comedy type film we have here.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're all gonna go see this on January 17th. Next up, we got Presence, which is Steven Soderbergh ghost story told from the perspective of the ghost. Stars Lucy Liu and Chris Sullivan, and this is another partnership between Steven Soderbergh and David Koepp, the writer of Jurassic Park, Mission Impossible, Spider-Man, and they made Kimmy a few years ago with Zoe Kravitz. I saw that movie on HBO. It's a really good movie. It's it's really, just very simple and effective thriller. I'm a really big fan of their partnership. I think Soderbergh is great. I think this movie looks great. The trailer's really cool. But yeah, do y'all have any thoughts on Presence?
I mean, I know Soderbergh is one of those guys who can do basically anything well.
Mm-hmm.
Does anything and everything, and that's something to his credit and sometimes to his detriment. But I think this should be interesting. I don't know if it's coming out as the same day as one of them days. You know which one I'm going with, but it seems interesting.
You gotta double feature that.
I don't know if that's a Barbenheimer type.
It's not, but it's a
One of
polar
them presences.
Yeah, one of them presences.
That's
yeah.
fire.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for that movie. Should be cool. But yeah, one of them presences January 17th.
We will be there.
We will be there. Next up, we got Wolfman, also January 17th. This trailer is fucking annoying. I have nothing else to say about it.
Yep. I feel like I saw it like 8 times this month before everything. And I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't look great. They showed the trailer before Nosferatu. It just looks kind of goofy. I wasn't a big fan of the newer Invisible Man, so
Me neither. No.
maybe I'll be surprised. But anyway, we were just talking about Christopher Abbott. It's really cool. I like seeing him and stuff. So we'll see. But this one also comes out January 17th.
Big day.
Yeah, that's bottom of the January 17th list for me.
It'll probably make the most money.
I was about to say, yeah, that's the one that's probably really gonna make some waves.
Yeah.
We'll see how good or bad it is.
That's Blumhouse, and they make those movies for very cheap, and they also, usually do pretty well. It's a horror movie with some movie stars in it, and people are going to be into that. I would bet that does. I don't know, but one of them days has a shot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's crazy to me that studios get that when you make a movie for cheap with a couple faces, like a horror movie, they're willing to bet on that. But it's been like 20 years since they've bet on a comedy that's the exact same formula. Like shoot it for cheap, have some faces in there. So
Yeah.
I feel like if one of them days does well, I presume they're shooting it for pretty cheap. It's like a first-time director and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that could bring it back because horror movies are one of the few things that are keeping theaters alive. So if they decide, buddy comedies can do this, fill in the same niche, that would be great.
Buddy
comedy
renaissance.
Out of it. Yeah,
It's like
for
a
sure.
return to the original format too. Like,
Yeah.
not to completely tread back to one of them days while we're talking about Wolfman, but like, it's got so many rising stars in it. Aside from just the main cast, it's got Maude Apatow, it's got Lil Rel, it's got Janelle James. It's doing exactly what Wolfman is doing, just with a different format. So, I'd love to see both of these movies succeed. To be honest,
I think that's just a general outcry within some sections of Hollywood right now. I know Cord Jefferson, the writer of American Fiction, his whole Oscar speech was about making more movies for less money and giving more opportunities to people. I think that's kind of what we might start to see with the current state of Hollywood, and the pendulum might be swinging back towards smaller movies and really quality stuff that's
Big
not
talent.
really not yet big talent made for a reasonable amount of money, not like
Yeah,
hundreds
I
of
think
millions of dollars.
the
But
only problem with that is that these tentpole movies have actually been doing okay recently. It was like a gap where they were doing poorly, but like
yeah,
imagine you're an executive looking at how much money Oppenheimer made, how well Wicked is doing right now. Like, not to say Wicked is that expensive, but these like movies that aren't small at all and not shooting for cheap at all are actually doing pretty okay compared to 2021, 22. So I don't know if, unfortunately, if we're gonna see it swing all the way.
I don't. It can never swing like all the way. We really do need the
Yeah, for
movies
sure.
that make like billions of dollars. You kind of need those to be there to have a healthy ecosystem, so that studios will spend money on these smaller movies that really kind of, I guess, like create new ideas and sort of are innovative and that kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, 2025 is like filled with gigantic movies, and most of the ones we're going to be talking about here are the bigger ones because that's what you can anticipate. That's what gets promoted years out. But there is going to be a bunch of stuff that comes up throughout the year that's like the stuff that's really going to matter. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I
But
think a lot of these too. I don't know if we're gonna predict the box office for every movie, but a lot of these big movies, as I go through this list, are not gonna do well, which also needs to happen to teach these studios a lesson about putting $300 million into crap no one wants to watch.
Couldn't agree more.
yeah, so I think we're done with Wolfman, right, guys?
Yeah.
Forgot we were talking about Wolfman.
So, yeah, next up, we've got Companion, which I highlighted on this thing because I'm really, really excited for this. This is Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher. Sophie Thatcher recently in Heretic, Jack Quaid from The Boys. And the reason I'm really excited for this is, one, the trailer is really, really cool. And two, this is being produced by Roy Lee, and he is the producer behind Strange Darling, Late Night with the Devil, Barbarian, and even something like the Lego Movie. And I think that all of these movies are extremely subversive in their own ways. And honestly, those are like some of my favorite movies ever. Those four movies. I guess Late Night with the Devil, I remember, Stanley, we saw that at South
Yeah,
by.
we saw that at South by. It was awesome.
And that was kind of like a thing where, like, I don't think we knew what we were getting into. We knew David Desmalchin was in it, but not much else about it, and that it kind of was, a festival favorite. And we went to go see it, and I was pretty blown away. It's just such an original idea, and the format felt very fresh and innovative. And I really, really liked it coming out, and it was no surprise to me in the credits when Roy Lee's name flashes across the screen.
He's clearly
because-
not afraid to attach his name to the big swing projects.
Definitely.
Like, there's not a single thing on his credits list I'd say that isn't, worth taking a look at. He clearly is a guy that is looking to take risks and make the movies that are going to create moments. The Lego Movie is like, people are still trying to recreate the success of it. It was, it's a big movie done right. Barbarian is, of course, it's hard to call that anything but a swing for the fences because it's Barbarian. But yeah, I'm
Barbarian's
excited
so
for
good.
it.
But yeah, it's a sci-fi horror. Supposedly, I don't really get any of that from the trailer, which is interesting. But supposedly sci-fi, about a billionaire's death setting off a chain of events for Iris and her friends during a weekend trip to his lakeside estate. Can't really get much out of that, but the trailer is awesome, and it's very vague, and this synopsis is very vague, and that's kind of what I miss from these kinds of movies. Like, I don't want to know everything about a movie when I go into it, and it feels like a lot of studio movies are just way over marketed, in my opinion.
Yep.
Like I don't need to know every single detail about, even movies like the Fantastic Four and Superman are going to get huge marketing campaigns, and we're going to know a lot about those movies before going in. And there's set photos all the time and leaks and whatnot. But like, even those movies, I don't need to know what's going on in Superman. I kind of just want to sit there and, I do want to know. I do want to see. I was very excited for that trailer, but, yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
Something that's kind of interesting about this synopsis, I feel like we're seeing this type of movie so much. I don't want to judge it off that, but maybe the reason they've written it that way is because this is what that, Channing Tatum, Zoe Kravitz movies about. This, like, Glass Onion. All of these movies about, like, elusive billionaire doing something somewhere.
It's also, yeah, I think it's kind of, I think it's the Get Out effect. Like it's potentially another movie in that, string of movies that came out after Get Out that are, people going to a faraway cabin and someone acting weird and, trying to, whether it's Fresh, where Sebastian Stan is a cannibal and he'll lock you up in the basement and, like, eat you methodically or whatever. Or in Blink Twice, you have the Billionaire Island where there's some shenanigans going on. But
Definitely some shenanigans on the island.
yeah, some shenanigans going on that island. Don't go to that island. I hope I hope it doesn't fall into the trap that Blink Twice did. I wasn't a big fan of Blink Twice because I thought it was, it just felt a little tasteless, I guess. Like, it didn't really feel like it justified the very serious subject matter that it was tackling. Like, it did not feel, like it didn't feel like they had enough to say to go for what they were going for, if that makes sense. And it also didn't really make much sense to me. But
I think that's the risk of these, like, I don't know. I don't want to call it mystery box writing, but it kind of is, where you're trapped away and you've got to, like, piece together what everything is. And if you're not Jordan Peele, you might do it in a tacky way, or you might just leave it so confusing in an attempt to be intelligent that just throws everyone off. But I don't think this movie will be that.
Yeah, I hope it's getting an IMAX release, which is interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got IMAX on the posters. It played in front of a bunch of IMAX releases that I went to go see, and it looks great on IMAX, so should be cool. That's on January 31st.
I'm going to be honest. I know we got to move on here. I've never heard of this movie. I haven't seen a single trailer for it. This is the first time I'm hearing about it, but this sounds very cool, and I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah. Companion, January 31st.
Move on to February here.
Yes, sir. We're moving into February. We got Love Hurts, starring Ke Huy Quan, Ariana.
Wait. Is this the one with Marshawn Lynch?
This is the one with Marshawn Lynch.
Yes, bro. Yes. I'm in. I'm sold.
Yeah, this will be his follow-up to Bottoms, or for second acting role probably, unless he was in something before that.
Movie for me. He's so good.
Yeah, Bottoms is really good.
I will say,
that's another thing.
I saw one trailer for this movie, and I'm sorry. I think it looks awful. Shout out Ke Huy Quan.
I'm sad.
I'm happy that he's getting his. I'll probably go see it because I do want to see Marshawn
Lynch.
Yeah, that's why I want to go, but I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So Love Hurts. I also think that the trailer does not look very good, unfortunately. Love the people in it. I don't know if I'm going to see it, to be honest. That trailer really stinks.
Damn.
Yeah. Sorry, Stanley.
Kind of the
sorry,
opposite,
sorry,
bro.
Marshawn
I mean,
Lynch.
I haven't
The
seen the
risk-taking
trailer.
we're just talking about. It looks just
I
very
want to see Marshawn Lynch.
by the books action movie.
Yeah.
But, Marshawn's in it, so maybe it'll be good.
I got hope.
Maybe.
Speaking of maybe it'll be good.
No. No. Nuh-uh.
Hard maybe
it
on
could
this
be.
next one.
It could be.
Could be.
Don't count him out now.
I've been saying that this movie is going to be ass for months, and Norman has held strong that this has a chance.
Whoa. I think it's going to be ass too, but
I
I'm
heard
not going to
Norman
be
say-
surprised
Norman
if
said
it is.
on everything, this is going to be the best
on
movie
all
of
y'all souls, this is going to be the best superhero movie ever made. No, I don't think this is going to be very good, but I would not be surprised if it's not awful. And that movie is Captain America: Brave New World, which we're all, I assume, pretty familiar with. It's in full force marketing right now. They played like 8 trailers during the UT game today. To Kendrick's N95, which is pretty cool. But they
haven't
won't
seen
fool me.
that.
They won't fool me. Oh, it's cool. Yeah, it's a TV spot, and it plays, N95 off Mr. Morale. Shout out that album. But, yeah, this one's probably not going to be very good.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is what I was talking about with the $300 million movie that could bomb really hard.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it is obviously Anthony Mackie as Captain America. If this movie doesn't do well, you're going to hear a certain type of group of people being really annoying about it not doing well for reasons that they are going to make up. I think it looks bad because there's a bunch of Hulk characters and all the CGI looks awful, but, what do I know?
But he's also black.
Hey, man.
I think Mackie might have some of the worst role selection of an actor of his caliber. He just
You don't
picks-
think this is a good role, though? I mean, it's like it's a bad movie, but like...
I think in general, I guess right now he's cutting his checks and he's doing what he has to do. But
Yeah.
if you look at his IMDb page, man, there's just some real bad choices there, and he's
Pain and Gain innocent.
really talented.
Yeah, Pain and Gain is fun.
Pain and Gain is totally innocent. Better than any Marvel movie he's been in.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like he's just gonna hitch himself to this, Captain America thing for another couple movies. I wonder how many he's signed on for.
He's
I
got to
think it's
be in
been-
like Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars probably. That
So
might
that just
might
got
be it.
confirmed that he's in those. I don't know.
Man,
It just
poor
depends
guy.
on what Marvel's doing after those Avengers movies, which I feel like we'll talk about more so we can do the other Marvel movies. But
Yeah,
yeah, this one's not looking great.
Yeah.
Looking really overcooked. is
yeah.
what I'm feeling.
That's a good way to describe it. It really is overcooked.
I
Also,
mean, like 3 rounds of reshoots, and
Yeah.
like there's characters from the Incredible Hulk in it. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
like, who's this
five-
for?
$5 trillion later. Yeah,
Eternals, like, bro.
yeah. This is the first thing that's crossing over into Eternals.
It
That's
seems
not
like
a-
it's a big point of the movie. Like,
Yeah,
they keep
that's not a
showing
good
in the
omen.
trailer him flying it around the dead Sentinel. So,
Yeah.
yikes.
Not great. This also stars Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk.
Reluctantly.
That's why I'm excited.
Yeah, it might be funny. I hope. I don't think we will because this was, I don't know if he can top this, but I'm hoping we see Dakota Johnson, Madam Web levels of checked out from Harrison Ford. I don't know if he'll be able to get there personally. Dakota Johnson is elite. I don't know, but I hope this movie's good. But I just all hope it's releasing on Valentine's Day. Like they have no faith in this whatsoever. And like all the reasons you said before.
I didn't know. Wow, that's crazy. It's coming out on Valentine's Day. That's
Yeah.
really bold. During our break here, I'm going to ask my girlfriend if she wants to see this on Valentine's Day, and I'll get back to y'all.
All right.
But there's a much better looking movie coming out on Valentine's Day, too.
There is a much better movie, Paddington in Peru. This is the 3rd Paddington movie. Paddington 1 and 2, obviously classics. Paul King directs those movies. He most recently directed Wonka. Not a fan of Wonka, but these Paddington movies are really fun. Is there anything y'all want to say about Paddington real quick?
It'd
I'm
be
excited.
classic. Yeah.
That's all I got to say. It's going to be good. I can't really get too deep about it. It's going to be a fun movie.
Yep. And okay, next up we got The Monkey. This is Oz Perkins' follow up to Longlegs. We got James Wan producing. We got a Stephen King adaptation. And I wasn't originally going to put this on my list, but and then I saw the cast. I knew Theo James was in it. He's in the trailer, but I didn't know Tatiana Maslany and Elijah Wood are co-starring with him. That's a fun cast. I also really, I had problems with Longlegs. I don't think it's great. But I think Oz Perkins directed the shit out of that movie. I think it's got a really, he has a really distinct visual voice, I guess. Like, that movie kind of fell apart towards the end for me, but it was still directed extremely well. So I like Longlegs, even though he didn't really, get over the line on that one. But yeah, this one's about when twin brothers Bill and Hal find their father's old monkey toy in the attic. A series of gruesome deaths start. The siblings decide to throw the toy away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. Kind of a vague synopsis, but yeah, this is coming out on February 21st. Killer Monkey, very similar to the one in Toy Story 3. Should be cool.
Scary monkey.
Are y'all excited for the monkey, or is this just me?
I'm gonna be a hater here. I did not really like Longlegs. I'm probably more excited for this because, yeah, I do think he directed the hell out of that movie, especially visually. So I think maybe adapting something, kind of taking a script that's kind of already there and giving it the Oz Perkins touch, that gets me excited. But yeah, I'm a little lukewarm on this one. I'll have to wait and see what other people are saying before I go make my own opinion. Because, yeah, I did not buy into the Longlegs hype, unfortunately. I didn't have a bad time. I thought it was solid, but I don't know. We'll see about the monkey.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest horror guy anyway, so I always loved seeing the reaction that audiences gave to Longlegs. I'm excited to see the reaction that they give to this movie. We'll see if I make it into the theaters to see it, but I'm hyped. It's a hell of a cast, hell of a crew.
Yeah, it should be cool. I think Oz Perkins also is kind of he's really good at blending the horror and the comedy. I think that he's very similar to some of his peers like Zach Krieger of Barbarian. I thought he did a really good job, blending that horror and comedy. And I think that's kind of what horror movies have, or a lot of mainstream horror movies have become now. And I'm a big fan of that. I think blending the horror and the comedy is really cool. But yeah, that's The Monkey on February 21st. But yeah, next we're going to be moving on to something very, very special to all of us, I think. We got Mickey 17. This is the latest film from Bong Joon-ho. This is his follow-up to Parasite. Stars Robert Pattinson, and it's about Mickey 17, who is known as an expendable, going on a dangerous journey to colonize an ice planet. Norman, I know you're very excited about this.
This will be the best movie to come out this year. I'm
Bold.
locking it in right now. I think Parasite is like one of the best works of our time. You could honestly argue about really any Bong Joon-ho movie. Robert Pattinson is like the best actor ever, and there's going to be a lot of Robert Pattinsons running around. I think it's going to be a great time. One of those IMAX movies. Going to go see it a couple times. This is going to be really, really, really good. I cannot wait for Mickey 17.
Yeah, I can't wait for Mickey 17 either. I think it looks really great. It looks very different from Parasite. It's obviously like sci-fi. But yeah, Bong is really, really good at making movies. So yeah, Mickey 17 should be really cool.
The full cast, I don't think they're in that trailer. There's people I didn't even know were in this movie, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm not remembering it clearly, but Steven Yeun's in this, Toni Collette, and Mark Ruffalo. That's three great names on top of Pattinson. I'm already, of course, super hyped, but that's just like, tripling that hype.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this one.
Yep. That's going to be on March 7th.
Unless Zaslav wants to delay it again.
Yeah. This movie has been delayed like a zillion times. For context, I don't think that Warner Brothers has any faith in this movie because of the fact that it's been moved around so many times, and it doesn't feel like it's been moved around strategically. It feels like it's been moved around because they don't know what to do with it. It was
Which probably means it's going to be really, really good.
That's what I was going to say. If Zaz has no faith in it, I have a ton of faith in it. March 7th is the current release date, unless they move it again, which is very possible given the current regime over at Warner Brothers. This thing has gone on a long journey, but hopefully it ends on March 7th and we all get to go see it in IMAX.
I will be there day 0. I'm actually already in the theater right now. I'm waiting. I'm watching.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm watching close for this one. On another note, the next movie here, it's going to be terrible.
Yeah. That's
the next movie from the Russo brothers, who built quite the reputation for themselves. This is The Electric State. This is a Netflix movie. I know I didn't put the synopsis down here, but I'm pretty sure it's about like animatronics after a war or something. It looks dumb. I don't know. I'm not feeling it one single bit.
Yeah, I think this looks pretty. This looks like it'll be the worst movie of the year, but also maybe one of the biggest.
Chris Preezy.
It's gonna get those like Red Notice.
Yeah,
fake.
it's gonna be
800 billion people watched it in the first 15 seconds it was out. The biggest movie since sliced bread.
Yeah, you'll hear no one talking about it, and it'll also be like the biggest movie ever made.
Yep.
We're at a weird point in culture.
And it probably cost $350 million to make for some reason.
Yeah.
Everyone accuses Netflix of cooking the books on these. They say everyone watch this movie. But I honestly believe it because I think families just put movies on and just walk away.
I do.
And I think that's what's going to happen to this one.
I've never met anyone who's even turned on Red Notice. I don't know.
You're looking at him, buddy.
Yeah.
We watch all the garbage.
It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Probably my least favorite movie ever in terms of what it means for society. You know what I'm saying? You just feel worse. You feel icky after you finish Red Notice.
Yeah.
But this one seems a little bit less malicious and more just so engineered. Like Stanley Tucci on this list, Millie Bobby Brown on this list. That's just like, let's grab faces people know and put them in here. This one gives me bad vibes.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be good at all.
Very bad vibes from this one.
I don't know if y'all have seen the art from the graphic novel, though. It's like really, really cool looking stuff. The movie doesn't capture that at all based on the trailer.
The movie looks like gray MCU, gray man sludge.
Yeah, but Simon Stalenhag, who's the artist behind the graphic novel, went off with those illustrations, man. They're really cool looking. They're not capturing any of it in the movie. So, yeah, March 14th, Electric State. Let's go.
Yeah. I know. Next up here we have another movie that looks awful.
Let's take a break before we get into that one. Yeah. Let's go to break real quick. And we're back, and we're talking about Snow White coming out on March 21st.
Before we do, very quickly, just wanted to give the viewers a response from earlier. I asked my girlfriend Bree, and we will not be seeing Captain America: Brave New World on Valentine's Day.
Boo. Boo.
He actually said, hell nah, in her own words. So,
Yeah, well, there you have it. No, Captain America will not be the Valentine's Day movie extravaganza that Marvel is hoping it will be.
Are y'all more of a Paddington couple?
yeah, I'd say we're probably more of a Paddington couple.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. We'll be seeing Love Hurts again.
Yeah, yeah. Love hurts over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, on March,
Speaking of movies we're not going to see, though.
yeah, on March 21st, Snow White is coming out. This movie stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, and it is already marred in controversy. I'm not going to get into it, but there is a lot of controversy, and the movie looks bad. Very typical situation for one of these live-action Disney movies. It is directed by Mark Webb. Shockingly, it is written by Greta Gerwig. Had no idea until I looked the movie up for the podcast.
I still think you're making that up.
I'm not. That's a real.
You can't be reading
thing.
those Google AI synopsis.
I'm not reading the Google. I'm reading Hollywood Reporter. But yeah, no. This is Greta Gerwig and Aaron Cressida Wilson penned the script. This is gonna be bad. I don't know. I hope Greta got paid like a lot of money. That I guess that's all I have to say. Like, this movie looks like ass.
Yeah, here's the
yeah.
thing. I like Greta Gerwig a lot. I like Mark Webb a lot. I like Rachel Zegler. Everyone gets on her head all the time and everyone hates her. I think she's pretty cool. This movie looks like shit. Yeah, no, it's going to be bad. I've
Yeah.
never had faith in it. I don't really think it should exist, period, but I get it. Like, you know, you need like to reuse the IP for every new generation. So Gen Alpha, eat this one up, and
Gen
let's all
Alpha
get
is
paid and go
fucking
home.
cooked.
Was it?
Gen Alpha is fucking cooked. They got
I don't even know
Snow
if they're
White.
seeing it.
Yeah, probably not. And movies, I don't know if movies are a big thing among the alphas.
Why go watch Snow White when you have Skibbity Toilet at home?
W
Yeah.
movie, W Riz.
I would rather watch Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah, exactly. Or the Michael Bay Skibbity Toilet.
Yeah,
Not
at
on the
least they have
list.
Lord.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that. Is that a movie or a limited series?
Both at the same time.
I hope
both
we
at
get
the
as many
same
hours
time?
out of that as possible.
Spin-offs, sequels, the whole nine.
All
Everything.
right. Speaking of things that should go on forever, I'm gonna let Stanley introduce this next movie because I know you're
Oh yeah.
very
I think
excited.
I meant to say, speaking of movies that look
Oh yeah.
awful.
Oh yeah. It's time. Let me tell y'all about a little game. Little game with blocks.
Roblox?
I like tried to convince myself that this was deserving of an intro. It's the Minecraft movie, you know. When I was a little kid, I used to I couldn't play Minecraft, and so I would like read all the lore on it in like books so I could like
Yeah.
pretend that I was in the know about it.
Well, you're the target audience for this movie. That's what the movie's gonna be.
And let me just say, I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, "Damn, this is a trailer." You feel me? And
It's definitely the trailer for the Minecraft movie.
yeah, it's gonna be bad, you know. It's gonna be bad. I think this is the opportunity. We were talking earlier about how a couple movies this year have to bomb to teach to possibly teach studios a lesson. And I would be very proud to see this be one of those movies.
You know
That's what
what's
I'll say.
you know what's funny?
Mm.
We were talking earlier about how Roy Lee is this subversive producer making a lot of great stuff. He's a producer on this. I just wanted to throw that out there.
I just talked
Yeah.
you up, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, maybe this
two
is
sides. of the
Maybe this
coin.
isn't the movie we think it's going to be.
What do you mean by that?
Cultural revolution. That's what we mean.
Yeah, maybe there's more than meets the eye with the Jack Black Minecraft movie.
It's possible. It's possible. I think this movie, contrary to what you were saying, Stanley, I think this movie's gonna make like a lot of money, and I think it's
Definitely.
going to probably catch on to that like meme wave, I guess, of like, you know, like the gentle minion thing. Like I feel like there's a lot of potential for something like that to happen with this movie. I think a lot of people are going to go see it ironically or not ironically. Like I just think like it's too
They
big to fail.
say
I
the
don't know.
children yearn for the mines in the trailer.
They do. They do. The children yearn for the. Maybe they're. Yeah. Maybe
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
that's
meme
one
been
point
movie.
conditioning
billion
people to.
dollars right there.
Yeah.
Like, come on, this movie is gonna make bank. This is like one of the strongest brands on the planet. It looks awful, but kids don't care. Parents who take their kids to crap don't care. They just see there's a Minecraft. It's literally called a Minecraft movie. Like,
Like they just shat it out. It's like here's a Minecraft movie.
yeah, I would say this movie has a great director, Jared Hess, who made Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. Not that
Hasn't
that
this
means
movie
anything
also
with
been in
these big
development for like
crappy
Yes.
studio movies.
years?
Yeah, this has been in development. This is one of those like you know, it's been in development since Minecraft probably came out. But yeah, our national nightmare ends on April 4th. Yeah.
Or maybe it's just getting started.
Or maybe it's just beginning. Yay, 2025.
We got a good movie next.
We got a good movie
We haven't seen one of
next.
those in a while.
Yeah, haven't seen one of those in a while. Well, this is a most anticipated list, and we're talking about a lot of shit. But Sinners is going to be great. Every time I go to see a movie in IMAX and this plays on the big IMAX screen, it hits different. It looks like it's going to be so good. This is Ryan Coogler stepping out of the Marvel world for the first time since Creed.
It's about
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's been a
He-
long
he's
time.
like he's been doing, franchise for a minute.
Yeah. But yeah, this should be a really cool return to. This is probably not going to be a small movie. It's
No.
like a big studio movie, but
Coogler with the period piece is crazy.
yeah,
Two Michael
with
B.
a
Jordans.
period piece monster movie. This is going to be crazy. This is Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo, Wumi Mosaku, and this is about twins who return to their hometown and are confronted with an unexpected evil, which is vampires. And this is taking place in the Jim Crow era South. Michael B. Jordan, big arm. He looks like he got like big for this movie. He looks like huge, like way bigger than he did for like Creed even. Like I don't know what they're giving him, but like god damn, like he's huge in the movie trailer. But yeah, this
I'll
looks
say I'm super excited for this one, but I saw some speculation that originally Coogler wrote this for Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors, and it wasn't a twin movie.
man.
And unfortunately, Majors had to. And let's not speak on that, but
Yeah.
that version seems. I don't want. I will say I think that
I wish you
version
hadn't
is
told me
superior.
that, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true.
Damn.
This is just like random Twitter stuff, but that version of the movie would have probably been incredible.
Hmm
Yeah, I really wish the Jonathan Majors thing went a different way.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's a great performer. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But Michael B. Jordan playing twins. I mean, talk about a way to create, great solution out
Double
of
trouble,
out of a problem.
as they say.
Yeah, like this is gonna be sick. You get a little taste of it in the trailer. You see, the kind of differences between the twins in like one shot. And Michael B. Jordan looks like he's gonna kill it. I'm really excited for this movie.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
we will be there.
Well lit night shots. Isn't that
Yes.
cool?
Yes.
They still make those?
Yeah. Well, not. This will be the first time in a while, actually.
Thought they killed you in Hollywood for doing that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm super hyped.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this next movie. So I think
Are you
I'm just
really?
gonna. Yeah, I'll explain myself. Ah, very excited. It's a strong word. Okay. The Accountant 2. First of all, what the hell? The Accountant 2. Um, I really like the first Accountant. I think that's like the perfect dad movie. I remember just having a really good time with it. Um, I like this cast. I like Ben Affleck. Um, it's gonna be a movie I see and I have a really good time with, and probably don't really remember anything that happened in it. But yeah, I'm the sicko they're making The Accountant 2 for in the year of our Lord 2025. So I don't know if y'all have anything y'all want to add, but
Yeah, I don't know if I can add to The Accountant too. I didn't see the first one, and I'm shocked that like this feels like a fake movie.
that's
But
why I love fake movies.
yeah, maybe I will watch The Accountant in preparation for The Accountant 2. I don't know. Are we gonna do a pod on The Accountant 2?
We might have to,
Okay.
unless we're not still talking about Sinners. But
Do the Accountant 2 and the history of accounting. That's gonna be a great
Oh,
one.
very interesting.
Um, but yeah, that's April 25th. Um, next up, we have a Marvel movie that might be good. Um,
We're
and
fooling
that's
ourselves. We
we're not,
here
we're
are
not,
sneaking
we're
into
not, we're
movies.
not.
We
No,
love slop.
no,
We love going to the movie and watching trash on our screen for 2 hours. I'm excited too,
no.
though.
This, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, guys. I,
For
I,
sure, buddy.
I have, I have a rational confidence in Thunderbolts. I think it's not going to be like I have no reservations. Honestly, I've fully deluded myself almost, or not deluded myself. I'm going based off of the trailer. Before this trailer came out, I was like, "Fuck that! That sounds dumb. Why do you have 5 Captain Americas on the same team? That doesn't make any sense." Um, but then I saw the trailer and I was like, you know what? This looks good. Um, and I think it's gonna be like I don't even think it's gonna be like average MCU movie good. I think it's going to be like one of I think it's going to end up close to a top 12 for me
Wow.
potentially of the year. I have that much faith in Thunderbolts.
That
Um,
is bold. As someone who's
that it is
also
bold.
way too excited for this, that is bold. But hey, I'm gonna get my Marvel movie that I get to talk about later. So
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, it's Jake Schreier who directed Beef, and Beef is great. And the trailer, you kind of really get a sense that he's sort of bringing some of that visual style and tone that he, played with in Beef and bringing it to these characters in the Marvel universe. And I think that's really interesting and cool. And I like a lot of these actors. Still doesn't really make much sense that you have like so many characters with like very similar power sets.
they're all
Um,
shields.
yeah. Also, Taskmaster is going to die in the first 5 seconds of the movie, or first 5 seconds that they're on screen. Um, I just that's going to be my prediction for the movie. Taskmaster is in none of the like promo shots that they've done. Taskmaster is going to die, and that's going to be their like Suicide Squad.
Slipknot.
Anybody can die in this one thing. But nobody cares about Taskmaster, so that's not going to really hit very much. But the movie's going to be good. Keep the faith. That movie's going to be good. But yeah, May 2nd, the Thunderbolts going on a mission.
Whoa.
Yeah. Are y'all remotely excited about this movie?
I'm gonna be honest. I think the poster is actually good. I really like the
Yeah.
poster. Everyone was hating on the poster.
Great
I
poster.
like the poster. But that's basically it. If that counts as like a drop of interest, that's basically all I'm interested in with this one. To be honest, I didn't even
That
realize that Sebastian Stan was coming back for this one until I just looked at the poster again. I thought he was done with this stuff because he's made some really interesting stuff in the last year.
Did you see A Different Man in The Apprentice?
No, but I'm definitely going to
Okay.
whenever I get a chance to.
Yeah.
And The Apprentice for sure too. I just didn't have a chance to see him in theaters.
Yeah. I
I will
liked both those
say-
movies.
I don't know how much they spent on this. It's not gonna make money.
I'm worried
I don't
about
care
that.
how. Sorry.
I'm worried about that. I think you're right.
Yeah, it could be great, but this is like the Z-listers. Like these are a bunch of characters from movies and shows people range from kind of like to didn't really like. Like the only draw here is like the Winter Soldier probably, but how far can that reach really go?
I think it's somewhat of a weak summer. I don't. I guess the only other thing is like Fantastic Four, but like Superman will probably do. We're not there yet, but we'll probably do okay. And the other summer movies, I don't see any that are like super family. You know what I mean? And MCU has really cemented themselves as like you can take the family and go and watch them. I think it'll do okay.
There's a movie coming out July 2nd that we'll talk about that will be the highest grossing movie of the year.
Yeah.
involving
Yeah.
dinosaurs. Not to get into it. Doesn't matter how bad it is. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
That movie will make a lot of money.
I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to get people to go see Thunderbolts. Unless it's like as incredible as we hope it's going to be. And it has a really strong word of mouth.
If it's good, I think it will do well. Like if it has genuine, not like it's Marvel okay word of mouth. Like if it's like genuinely like a really great movie, I think that'll carry it. I think also it'll be a test of where Florence Pugh is at as a star. Like if this movie is much bigger than we think it's going to be, that really solidifies her as like, she's already one of the, top working actresses today, but like, as far as like carrying a movie, I mean, she's really doing a lot of heavy lifting in this. Like she is the star of this movie. And Norman, I'm going to ask you this. If the title for the movie is revealed to be Dark Avengers, like a month or two,
it'll make even less money.
You think less? Okay. I
don't think people care about these characters. I love Florence Pugh. I think she's very popular. I don't think she's got like a $700 million movie to pull. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like she's great. She's awesome. It's cool that she's getting to lead one of these because she kind of joined at the worst time possible. But I don't think any of these names are like really gonna pull, especially with superhero movies because they're just in such an awful place. I mean, The Rock made one and it made no money. So what's it gonna take to get someone to see Thunderbolts?
Yeah. So yeah, that's Thunderbolts, May 2nd. I'm really excited for it. Seems like Norman is kind of excited for it.
I'd say I think it looks a lot better than Captain America. I think it will be better, but I'm not going to be surprised if it's mid to ass.
Yeah. I'm not there. I just can't get there. But yeah, that's Thunderbolts.
Hey, we all get one. I thought Eternals was going to change the world.
I did too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So.
But hey, you know what? I'm gonna be way too excited for a Marvel movie and a couple movies here. So I'll let you have Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. So next we have Lilo and Stitch. It's gonna be shit. It's another one of those live action Disney movies. I don't got much to say about it. I'm guessing y'all don't either.
I say we just move on unless y'all.
Who's
real
Zach
passionate about
Galifianakis gonna play?
I don't know. I think Stitch actually.
What?
Alright, cool.
Are you serious?
I think so.
That's about
That's
all
like a
I
30
got.
Rock bit. Oh my god. By the way, this movie's gonna make
all I
$1
have
billion.
to say.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
I think these
you
live action
have
Disney.
you have the inside details.
Got a little
on
inside
Stitch.
scoop, yeah. He is like by far the most popular character. Like this is gonna make so. I think these live action movies, like Mufasa's not doing well. I don't think Snow White will. Lilo and Stitch is gonna make so much money, and it might tank the next movie we're about to talk about, which is sad. But
I put money on that one and the Moana one, just doing insane money.
yeah, I could see. Yeah, going.
I
there
forgot about live action Moana. God damn it.
It's got a cute animal. That's about all it needs.
Yeah.
Too.
Respectfully.
Yeah, it's got two. Yeah, this is gonna print money for like a month. I would hate to be a movie coming out around this movie,
A movie
Which is
coming out
sad.
a movie coming out the same day, perhaps.
which is a direct follow up to another movie that came out around movies that were destined to make a lot more than it and tanked pretty hard because of that.
Yeah, it's
This one will be a million times better than Lilo and Stitch, though. So
yeah, and the movie we're talking about is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, obviously starring Tom Cruise, and you got Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso and Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding joining the cast. Should be cool. It's coming out on May 23rd, same day as Lilo and Stitch, and it is kind of in a similar way to how Dead Reckoning got sandwiched in the Barbenheimer frenzy and then flopped. This is between Lilo and Stitch coming out on the same day and Karate Kid coming out a week later. That's not good for Mission Impossible. I don't. That Karate Kid movie is going to be. We'll see how well it can do. I think it's got a lot of potential, but it could also. I just don't know where that Karate Kid is going to land. But I think it could be absolutely massive, which
it could steal
could
the
spell
dad
trouble.
crowd.
Yeah, it could spell trouble for Mission Impossible. I think that movie's going to be really great. I really like Dead Reckoning, although it's not my favorite Mission Impossible movie. I'm pretty excited for part 2. But yeah, y'all like Mission Impossible?
I'm incredibly excited for this movie.
Yeah.
I plan to do my homework before this one comes out, because to be honest, I've only seen the first one. But
Okay.
I'm excited to do the binge because I really like doing that kind of thing.
It's a fun binge.
I did that
yeah.
last year, and it was a fun binge. I will say the first one, it didn't really click for me until after the first one. I think the first one's okay. Like, it's obviously a De Palma movie, and it's like the first one, so like respect. But like, I think they got increasingly better, with the exception of I don't really like 3 that much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, 2 is like the sickest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then 4 is, I think, one of the greatest movies ever. And then 5 and 6 are like really good. Actually, Rogue
6
Nation.
Fallout?
Rogue Nation's fine. Fallout's great. Fallout is 6. Dead Reckoning is 7.
I think Fallout is like one of the best movies. Like the way you feel about Ghost Protocol, that's how I feel. Like seeing that in theaters for the first time. Every time I rewatch that movie, when he jumps from the plane and the aspect ratio switches, I damn near stand up every time. It's so good.
You salute the TV?
I salute the TV like I'm on the team. But yeah, I didn't realize this had such heavy competition. I think this is a Paramount thing. They do this a lot. This happened with Dungeons and Dragons, which I didn't think was very good, but I could have saw that making a lot more money. All 3 Sonic movies that came out on top, but they were up against direct competition.
Maybe they're trying to create something there. I guess they ran into the Barbenheimer thing. They didn't really know that was going to happen, or think maybe they did. I don't know. But yeah, they release movies at weird times. But yeah, you want to move on to the next one? I already mentioned it, but
Yeah, that's all you.
Yeah,
I know you're probably more excited for this one than I am.
yeah, I'm pretty excited for Karate Kid Legends.
Hold on. Can I stop you real quick?
Yes. What's up?
Y'all know they killed the kid on Cobra Kai?
What?
Yeah,
No,
bro,
I haven't seen
bro.
season 6. I don't want spoilers. I don't want spoilers for season 6.
All right, hold on. All right,
I
I'm
need
gonna
to-
just let you watch,
Okay.
bro. I thought I knew what to expect from this franchise. I don't. So, like, hey, fire away, Karate Kid Legends.
That was the best
I-
review for Cobra Kai I've ever heard. I think I watched like a season and a half, and now I'm gonna catch up just because
Yeah.
of what you told me. Just
Yeah.
out of nowhere, yeah.
Do
You
it,
sold
bro.
me on Karate Kid Legends. I'm now more excited for this.
Yeah.
Enough said, man.
I think the trailer looks good. It's surprisingly good. It doesn't look like Cobra Kai. It looks like, we're kind of going back to a more traditional, bigger budget movie format. It's Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio is here, and Ben Wong is here. I kind of wanted to see like one Cobra Kai kid in the trailer. I hope like Miguel is in the movie or something like that. I don't know what's going on in Cobra Kai, but
Kids are
it's
dying, man.
yeah, kids are dying. I don't know if like they all got fucking Thanos snapped or what, but it's weird that none
You
of them
just
are in
gotta
the trailer.
watch the show,
Like,
man.
like, I I'm excited though for Karate Kid Legends May 30th. I hope it doesn't like absolutely crush Mission Impossible. I hope they can thrive together. But yeah, I think
It seems like it's just two true blockbusters.
yeah, I think it has the potential to be like really really big, like way bigger than like people are maybe anticipating it to be right now. I don't know what you think, Norman.
What is really big to you? You talking like $1 billion?
I think it could hit like 700 million.
Maybe. I don't know.
Cuz if Cobra Kai truly is like the biggest thing ever, like
But do you really believe that? Actually, that show's pretty big.
I do
feel like
I do
people-
though, cuz people talk about it. Like it's not one of those things like Red Notice where like it's the biggest movie ever and yet you would never hear about it ever in conversation. Like people do really like Cobra Kai. And you hear about it, I think. Or I do at least. It has like a greater cultural footprint than a lot of that other streaming stuff. So yeah, I think it has a chance to be really big. I'm excited for it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry for the spoiler, by the way.
It's fine. It's fine. Honestly, I'm more intrigued. I get on it sooner. So, yeah, not mad at it. I am mad at this next movie coming out,
Nice.
Ballerina, which is it's not called Ballerina anymore. It's called like From the World of John Wick Presents Ballerina or something like that. It's like a needlessly convoluted like universe marketing title.
That always works really well, so
yeah.
I understand why they did that.
Yeah, like Solo, a Star Wars story, known hit. Yeah, no, this movie looks bad. I'm also, I don't know about you guys, I'm not really interested in John Wick movies without Keanu Reeves. I feel like he is those movies. You can't really just slap another big actor into it and have me. That's like kind of like why I still haven't checked out Nobody, even though I love Bob Odenkirk. It just kind of feels like
You haven't seen Nobody?
I haven't. I
quit.
Yeah,
I'm outta here.
sorry,
That's
but yeah,
unbelievable.
I don't know. But yeah, no, this is set between John Wick 3 and 4. Keanu Reeves is in the trailer as John Wick. I think that's a little bit worrisome, especially that they're showing him in the trailer. I don't think they have any faith that this is going to do well. And they're
This
throwing
looks
Keanu at the wall.
awful, but John Wick 4 is one of the best action movies ever made. I don't even
Yep.
love the first three like that. I think 4 is like just no reason for it to be as good as it is. So it's hard not to be a little excited for it, just because it's kind of the same team, but this will probably stink and not make a lot of money.
Yeah, 4 is next level. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna be very good. Next up, we have the new Pixar movie Elio, which stars Zoe Saldana and Brad Garrett. It's about a kid who's mistakenly identified as Earth's leader. There is a trailer for it. It was supposed to come out last year. They pushed it into this year. I don't think they have very much faith in it for that reason. It seems like they sort of kicked this to the curb.
I'm pretty sure they redid most of it. Which
Yeah,
is
there's
always a
some
good
this
sign that
behind the
movie will be good.
scenes. Yeah, that's coming out on June 13th. It's Pixar, so you know,
You
Pixar
never
has a
know.
great track record. You
Yep.
never know. They did make Lightyear though, so yeah, you never know. Next up, we've got How to Train Your Dragon on June 13th. This is the live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. We will not be there.
Boo. Next.
Boo. But How to Train Your Dragon is really good, though. The animated one. We love that
Agreed.
movie.
All
that's
three
why,
of them are awesome.
why we're not happy about this movie. But yeah. Next up is a movie that I know you're really excited for, Norman. Why don't you introduce that one?
I've been kind of not very excited for this, and then they just dropped one of the best trailers in years. Um, when I first saw the trailer, I couldn't believe it. I've seen it a couple times in theaters now, and the theater goes entirely silent. You could hear a pin drop, and that's 28 years later. Um, yeah, this looks really good. It's a sequel to 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, if I'm correct.
Yep.
Um, it's got a
And-
fantastic cast.
It's also going to be, I believe, and this isn't really pertinent to this movie specifically, but I think they want to make more of these.
So
Nia-
they actually
yeah.
already shot the second one.
Interesting.
It's directed by Ava DuVernay, I believe is how you pronounce her name.
Really?
Yep. It's
Whoa.
I didn't know
actually,
that.
I'm
Whoa.
gonna
I
look
saw-
it up really quick. It has a
That's
crazy
cool.
title.
I saw Nia DaCosta was attached to one of these, I think.
Was it Nia DaCosta? Let me see.
It might have been Nia. I think it was Nia DaCosta, but I could be Nia DaCosta of the Candyman remake and the Marvels. Wasn't a huge fan of the Candyman
You're right. It
remake.
is Nia DaCosta. It's 28 years later, part 2, The Bone Temple.
The Bone Temple.
Comes out January 2026.
All right. Okay. So yeah, you're getting more of these. Nia DaCosta directed the Marvels. We are big fans of the Marvels here on Sneaking Into the Movies. I think
Loved it.
Yeah, we are. We're the only ones. But yeah, we like Nia DaCosta for that reason. But yeah, 28 years later should be cool. Danny Boyle returning to direct. Alex Garland writing the script. And you got Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ray Fiennes, Jodie Comer, and Cillian Murphy back in this thing. I think it'll be cool. I haven't seen any of the 28 Days Later movies. I will need to do some homework for this one, but it is homework that I am excited to do.
Good homework.
Yeah, good homework. This is going to be on June 20th.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm only kind of worried because I have not been a fan of Alex Garland for the last couple of years, or at least his movies, I should say. And he has another one coming out this year that looks awful to me.
Yeah,
But this looks really good.
Yeah.
This trailer is unbelievable. That's such a good cast. I think it'll be a good time.
Yes. Let's take a quick break here. We're back, and we're talking about F1. Norman, Stanley, Veer, are you guys excited for F1?
I'm not gonna lie to you. Cast looks great. Haven't heard much about it.
This is an Apple film directed by Joseph Kosinski. This is follow-up to Top Gun Maverick, and they're
Okay.
taking a very similar approach on this one, and they're shooting this movie during real F1 races, and the trailer is out. It looks very similar to Top Gun Maverick as far as like how they're filming these races. It's cameras attached to the vehicles. Really kind of gives you a very immersive feeling when it comes to these F1 races. But yeah, this is Brad Pitt and Damson Idris, and it sort of seems like a very classic sports movie setup where a former driver returns to mentor a young racer. That's kind of all we know about it. And it was made in collaboration with 10 F1 teams. This should be a big movie. I hope it is. And hopefully it can do some of what Top Gun Maverick did. It's not going to be as big as Top Gun Maverick, obviously, but
The F1 market is big among young people.
Very big, worldwide reaching.
Yeah. So
yeah, so hopefully we see that track in the box office because I think this is going to be good. But yeah, y'all. When does this come out? I didn't put the date on here for this one.
I have no idea. I am gonna be honest. This one's a big for me. It looks kind
Really?
of cool. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. It will be cool. I will go see it. I don't like Brad Pitt, so that kind of
Damn.
him starring. I know I'm not a big fan. Part of that is because he's just an asshole in real life.
Well,
But
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. He don't really do it for me. I like him in some stuff. I think he's incredible in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I don't know. This one's just not really calling my name. I'll definitely go see it when it comes out because it'll probably be better than I think it's gonna be. But yeah, it's not one I'm counting down the days for or anything. But it'll be
Yeah,
cool.
I'm not necessarily counting down the days for it, but I am curious and excited.
I'm almost excited for the other movie coming out June 27th.
Oh,
to
I'm
be honest with
definitely
you.
excited about the other movie coming out June 27th, and that would be Megan 2.0. Megan came out in January of 22, I believe, and it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that Megan rocked my world. This was just an absolute delight at the movie theater. Megan was really funny. It's a Blumhouse movie, so we could have gone in the wrong direction there, definitely, but I think we ended up in the right place on Megan. It's a really funny movie, and we're getting Megan 2.0 as the first one teased. Allison Williams and Violet McGraw returning, coming out on June 27th, same day as F1. Woo!
We will be there
Woo!
for Megan.
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting that we have a lot of dates here where there's two movies coming out at the same time. I wonder if any big box office events in the past few years have influenced that. Anyway, moving on. Jurassic World Rebirth.
Oh.
I know everyone in this has a lot of thoughts on this movie, honestly, I think. This is being directed by Gareth Edwards. It takes place years after Jurassic World Dominion, and it's about the planet becoming inhospitable to dinosaurs, and all of them are congregating at the equator for some reason. And Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey are going to be in this movie. This comes out on July 2nd. Norman, you've been preaching that this is going to be a terrible movie that will make $3 billion. Where are you at on Jurassic World as a franchise?
It shouldn't be one. I know why it is. I think the first one is an all-timer. I don't think the first
Jurassic Park, you mean?
Park. Yes, I think the Jurassic World movies are not
I like
great.
the first Jurassic World movie.
The first one, I thought the first one was alright.
Yeah.
I thought Dominion was awful.
It was a really bad movie,
I
yeah.
thought it was offensively bad, and it made $1 billion just kind of out of nowhere. Sorry, I hate to say this, but Gareth Edwards, just him, he's not enough for me to really get excited. It's cool that they're getting him to do this. Obviously, he works well in the studio blockbuster space between Godzilla and Rogue One. I think those movies are both good. I'm not very excited for this, though, if you couldn't tell from my tone. But yeah, these movies, they print monies, so this will probably do the same. And as a great cast, I will say,
Yeah.
I'm definitely more interested in this one than I was the last couple. Yeah, because of the director and the cast, so we'll see. But another one I'm not counting down the days for. I'd actually say I'm not excited for this, so.
I
think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go counter with Stanley and say I think this is actually gonna be okay or good.
It's going to make $3 billion, like you said.
It is.
I
mean,
can guarantee you that.
No
Yeah,
question.
it's-
It's
no,
going to
it's kind of-
wipe out the next couple movies we're going to talk about. I'm big.
I don't think I
blockbuster-wise.
disagree with that. I don't think it's
Or
going
maybe
to
not wipe 'em
steamroll.
out.
Yeah, but I think Gareth Edwards is directing this. I'm not a huge fan of Gareth Edwards. I thought the creator was like a bit of a mess, but it does have its highlights. Same thing with Rogue One, although Rogue One, when I saw it, I was a really big fan of it, and then I revisited it, and I was like, this is kind of a mess, and like, I don't really. It gave us Andor, so I mean, it's I'm glad it exists. So, but Gareth Edwards as a director, I'm not a huge fan, but I know that he does know how to make a shot look good, and he knows how to make big things look big. That's what he is really, really good at. Sounds stupid, but when you think of Rogue One, or when I think of Rogue One, I think of that one shot of the guys on the beach looking up at the AT-AT. When I think of the creator, I think of that really big, like machine
Thing in space.
Yeah, the really big thing, from the creator. Uh, yeah. Um, but yeah, I think he's gonna
He's
make
also
some
got
dinosaurs look cool
Godzilla
and
under
big.
his belt, right?
He did do Godzilla. I do like that movie. That's probably my favorite movie of his, honestly, even though I think that one is kind of just okay as well. But
It's
yeah,
really cool when Godzilla's in it for 5 minutes. He does look really cool in that movie.
yeah, he does look really cool for 5 minutes.
So
Uh,
here's I'm gonna rain on the parade. I don't know. Like the thing about Gareth Edwards, yeah, like he makes things look big and cool, but I don't think that's what the Jurassic World movies are lacking. I think
It's not.
I think they do a good job with that, which is why like I'm not that excited that he's directing. Which I guess it kind of sounds like y'all really aren't either, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
think most of his movies are just kind of boring, and that's why I'm not very excited for this one.
I'm really more holding out hope more than anything. I think the cast is cool. I think Gareth Edwards could be a good choice, but I don't know. That's going to be on July 2nd. Next up, we have the Trey Parker, Matt Stone, Kendrick Lamar musical. And this, I didn't know that this was going to be a movie. I thought that originally it might have been like connected to South Park or something or as a show, but it's not. It's a movie. And it centers on a young black man who is interning as a slave reenactor at a living history museum and discovers that his white girlfriend's ancestors once owned his. Um, Pretty funny premise. Trey Parker, Matt Stone, the South Park guys. I don't think they miss.
Nope.
And Kendrick Lamar doesn't miss either. So um, this should be pretty cool. Um,
I'm
I
very
think,
excited for this.
yeah, I think it'll be fun. I also, when I was, putting these movies on this list, it's pretty funny that even the like release date for the movie is a punchline. It's coming out on July 4th. That's pretty funny. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I just think
it should be cool.
the three minds behind this are incredible in their respective fields. Obviously, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. South Park is it's timeless. Kendrick Lamar just gets better and better. What a year he's had. So yeah, bring this on. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be hilarious. This is gonna be very, very good.
Is this animated? Do we know
I
that?
have no idea.
think
I
So, no?
I don't
I don't
think
know.
it is,
I don't.
but
I haven't seen it explicitly stated that it's animated or in live action. So that's something I'm interested in to know. I don't know if that's been announced.
Let's see what I can find here. Live action.
Live action?
Variety.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Very
I'm
good.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there day
Uh,
one. I'm
Yeah.
very excited for this. This will be very good.
Yep. And next up, we have maybe the most important movie of the year as far as blockbusters go. That's
Easily.
going to be the start of the DC universe in James Gunn's Superman. This stars David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult. James Gunn has described his Superman as the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way in a world that views this as old-fashioned. That sounds great to me, James. I'm really excited for the start of this new DCU. It seems like James Gunn is really allowing are going to allow filmmakers to run free and make whatever kind of movies they want about DC characters. You already have Mike Flanagan tapped to write the Clayface movie. You have Luca Guadagnino writing or directing Sergeant Rock with Daniel Craig starring and Justin Kuritzkis writing. This sounds like a really good, and you know, we're starting with Superman, obviously. Trailer came out recently. What do we think of the trailer, guys?
2 thumbs out of 2 thumbs. I think this looks incredible. Obviously, anyone who listens here knows that Max and I have been over the moon excited for this for a while. The trailer just solidified my excitement and got rid of a lot of my doubts. I think this is going to make a lot of money, which was I was really worried about for this, because this needs to do well to get more of these. I know we hate to see Warner Brothers winning, but you know they own some of our favorite characters. But I think the trailer's fantastic. I feel like completely took over the internet, and everyone's kind of talking about it. This is going to be big.
Yeah,
This is what we need. This is going to bring world peace. This is going to end all wars. This is going to be the movie.
It's going to
really
be
feels
the
like
movie.
a moment. It feels like a really big deal, which is what a Superman movie should feel like. So, yeah,
That boy James Gunn doesn't miss, so
he doesn't
Yeah.
miss. Like, why would I not be excited for this? He
Yeah.
doesn't miss.
I trust him.
Yeah, and just looking at it now, the trailer is at 50 million views. And that's just the one that DC uploaded. It's got views in other places as well. It might be one of the most watched trailers of all time. I don't know. 50 million views, a lot of views.
I think it hit one of those like first in the first 24 hours, whatever. But yeah, this is going to be really big. I think this is going to be really good. I think people are going to like this, and it's going to resonate with them. And they're going to tell their friends and family to go see it. Yeah, my doubts have kind of been squished with this one. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think that teaser is really good and was really big, but I think that Super Bowl trailer is when you're really going to start to feel the Superman takeover start. That'll probably be when we get more details on the plot and things like that. But I think that's when most people will become aware of this new Superman movie.
This needs to have like a Wicked or like Barbie level marketing, just
Yeah,
everywhere.
just like flood the zone.
Just
with
like if
Superman.
you're not seeing this movie, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't know what's really left to say other than this looks fantastic. The cast looks fantastic. It's James Gunn, like Stanley said. He don't miss.
Yep. And then next up on the Marvel side of things, we've got the Fantastic Four First Steps on July 25th. This is directed by Matt Shakman, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joe Quinn, and Eben Moss-Backrack as the Fantastic Four. Norman, these are your boys. How are we feeling about the Fantastic Four?
Yeah, these are my boys. I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan. Been like forever. I loved the original movies growing up. I know they don't hold up great, and there's a lot of early 2000s Fox Marvel movie yada yada in them. But yeah, I've always been a really big fan. This past year, I went through and read like most of their famous runs. I have just fallen in love with these characters. They are so cool. They might be the most important Marvel characters. Obviously, Marvel has kind of shoved them to the side because they didn't own the rights for a long time. They did it with the X-Men too, but these guys really got the short end of the stick. I'm too excited for this movie. It's a Marvel Studios movie in 2025, which is why I say I'm too excited. But
It is promising, though. It takes place in another universe, and it's going to be 1960s space age inspired. It seems to be a reboot of sorts, potentially, for
it seems like
the MCU.
that's where we're going. I think the cast are very inspired choices. I'm very sold on everyone. I'm gonna need to see a little more Pedro, but I definitely see the vision there. It's not who I'd go for first or maybe even second for Reed, but he's a great actor, and I imagine he'll do a great take on this. But yeah, I'm just excited that a competent enough studio is making a movie with these characters, other than just to keep the rights to them. It just feels like behind the scenes, Marvel knows how important this one has to be, or how good this one has to be. Nonetheless, because they're kind of in the gutter in the culture of comic books and movies and superhero movies and all that.
Definitely.
So yeah, I'm just way too excited for this. Even more excited after watching Nosferatu and listening to Ralph Ineson's voice for 2 hours.
Yeah,
About how incredible it's going to be to hear him in IMAX as Galactus.
Yeah, it's great when he shows up in Nosferatu. It really gives the movie a lot of life, in my opinion, in that part that he comes into. I just love when he shows up in movies, and I knew it was happening, but I read the other day that Ralph Ineson will star as Galactus in Fantastic Four with Julia Garner playing Silver Surfer, and I was like, that is sick. So yeah.
I mean, John Malkovich is in this. Crazy.
What is John Malkovich
Paul
doing in this?
Walter Hauser. I have no idea. I think the opening is going to kind of speed run a bunch of Fantastic Four villains like Mole Man, Wizard, characters like that who are important to them but don't really need a whole movie about them. And I imagine those big actors are going to be playing those characters.
I think this might be a unpopular take, but I think I'm way more excited for the Fantastic Four movie than Superman.
I am too, but I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I think Superman will probably end up being better, but I'm way more excited to see a competent enough Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, I just think there's just way more potential. I don't know, maybe that's not what y'all are feeling, but I feel like Gunn really did his thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, but I'm not as sold on him being the mastermind behind where the DCU goes. But also, I'm not as invested in it, really, at all. So, my opinion doesn't super matter. I'm not the one they have to win over.
I could see it. I could see where you're coming from. I think that him, like James Gunn, as a choice for Superman is a little like it doesn't seem like it fits, given his sensibilities and the characters he's chosen to write for in the past. But yeah, I more than anything, I'm not necessarily excited about where he's going to take like an overarching story. I'm just kind of like more excited about him working with really great filmmakers or bringing really great filmmakers into the fold to consider comic book movies that they would have never done.
Yeah.
If they weren't.
No, Luca doing one is crazy. That's definitely something only he.
I don't think that's happening.
Off.
You don't think it's happening?
No, I don't. I really wanted to.
Yeah.
What about
like
Clayface? What about Clayface?
Clayface is happening. I don't think Lucas is happening. I think Luca is always working on 5 projects and 3 of them always get canceled. I don't know. I would love for it to happen. He's an incredible director, obviously. I'd love to see this. I think he'd make a great movie, even though Sergeant Rock isn't the most exciting DC character. I don't know. That one feels like if any of these announced DC movies are getting canceled, other than the Batman 2, not actually, but we can talk about that another time. That's definitely not coming out this year. But yeah, I don't know. I hope it happens. I'm trying not to get too excited for that one specifically because it just feels like something that will be one of the great what could have beens.
Yeah.
I'd love to be wrong though. I would be more than happy to be totally wrong.
I think
to bite my words in a couple of years.
Yeah.
While I'm seated for Sergeant Rock and IMAX with Daniel Craig.
Yeah. It's
and
possible.
G.I. Robot.
I think, yeah, G.I. Robot. I love G.I. Robot. Yeah. But that's kind of the Fantastic Four. I think we switched topics, but Fantastic Four is it should be cool. I think we're all very excited for it. Um,
That is
yeah.
like
July 25th.
probably not, or that's like the most important movie for me next year. Like, it's not a want, it's a need that it's good.
Are you gonna
And
feel like genuine anxiety going into the movie theater?
I don't know. I think it'll depend on when that first trailer hits. Um, I think if it's not good, there's really nothing left for me at Marvel. Um, I've been putting a lot of my chips on Fantastic Four being good and them trying this one time with these incredible, important characters. So, yeah, I'm gonna be watching that one very, very closely, and I will be there day one.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the Fantastic Four, July 25th. Next up, we have The Naked Gun coming out on August 1st. Liam Neeson playing Frank Drebin Jr. Pamela Anderson and Paul Walter Hauser are in this, and Akiva Shaver is directing of The Lonely Island. That's
Yes,
actually
sir.
kind of a cool project. I'm excited to see where this ends up. But yeah, and then next up, we have The Battle of Bactan Cross, which is the Paul Thomas Anderson movie. This might be delayed to 2026, but it currently has a release date of August 8th. We'll see what happens there. That's Leonardo DiCaprio, Regina Hall, Sean Penn, and Alana Haim.
I will be very sad if this is actually delayed.
Yeah,
Which it probably will
would
be
suck.
because, Zaslav, and God forbid he puts out a good movie.
Yep. Then next up, we have Freakier Friday, Lindsay Lohan, Jamie Lee Curtis, August 8th. Nobody 2, Bob Odenkirk, August 15th. Haven't
I
seen
will
the
be
first
there
Nobody, but yeah,
day one.
Norman will be there.
The first one is awesome. Bob Odenkirk is probably the coolest guy ever. I'll be there for whatever reason. Honestly, I love that guy. And the first one's a lot of fun. RZA's in it. He's really cool in it too. I don't know if he's gonna be in the second one, but
He is.
I'm even more excited now.
Yep. And then next up, we have The Conjuring Last Rites. This is Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson back. And this is coming out September 7th. Yep. And then there's The Bride, the latest Maggie Gyllenhaal directed film. Stars Jessie Buckley as the Bride of Frankenstein and Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster. This is coming out September 26th. Christian Bale Frankenstein sounds interesting.
I would be more excited for this if there wasn't also probably a Frankenstein movie coming out that I'm a lot more excited for next year.
Yeah. But that leads us into Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic that follows his life and career from his time with the Jackson 5 as a child in the 1960s and 70s to his final weeks before his death in 2009.
I think I speak for everyone when I say, I don't know, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
This
studio, by the way, thinks this is going to be the highest grossing movie ever. I
They
don't know which
do.
studio's working on it, but they think it's going to make $3 billion.
I believe it's Lionsgate, but let's check that. And they need a win because they're broke.
Shout out Nia Long.
Yeah, this
Shout
is
out Coleman
Lionsgate.
Domingo. Shout out Miles Teller. I heard he's playing Janet. And yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be Jafar Jackson is his nephew, correct?
I believe
Oh.
so, yeah.
Yeah, and this is going to be filled with songs. It's going to include more than 30 Michael Jackson songs, and it's coming out on October 3rd. I think this movie, there's obviously controversy surrounding Michael Jackson, but I don't think that's the reason why you can't make a Michael Jackson movie. In fact, if they were going to explore that a little bit potentially, like
Not happening.
yeah, no, it's not happening. But
I think
and that's
his
my
family was
problem with this movie.
closely involved.
Yeah, I'm sure they were, and I'm sure this is going to be Michael Jackson's greatest hits, the movie, and that's fine. But
There
I
are
think
so
it's
many
going to,
interesting parts of Michael Jackson's life.
yeah,
that they could have honed in on specifically. The Bob Dylan movie that just came out is
Yep.
just about like a 5-year period of his life.
Yep. I think
Why not do that
yeah.
for someone like Michael Jackson? You
I
know?
also
You could have done just the prep for the This Is It tour,
yeah.
which would have been his last tour, and that's like they have a documentary on it. It's like very very
Incredible.
well done. Kenny Ortega directed it. I think there's just so many distinct eras of Michael Jackson's life that would have been worth exploring rather than, just doing a compilation album
You
of a
you
movie.
you could have just done one exclusively about the Jackson 5 as well, which
Correct.
seems to make more sense as well because you know, that's an interesting period of time and you also totally avoid the controversy pretty much.
Hmm.
Um my thing with this movie is that it's almost certainly going to run into a problem that I think a lot of these musical biopics have in that they all are really just kind of like almost puff pieces for the artists themselves. They don't really get into anything too dramatic. They don't really explore much about anything at all. They kind of just play the hits. That's kind of what these movies are designed to do. I think the Bob Dylan movie that just came out does sort of apply there, but it's a little bit more interesting. I think there's a little bit more going on with the Bob Dylan movie. Um, and I liked it more than I thought I would.
Same here.
Um, I just thought that that portrayal of that, for one, I think another problem that this movie runs into is I didn't know basically anything about Bob Dylan, and I learned a lot through watching that movie. I heard a lot of the music. I was like, hey, I actually kind of like Bob Dylan. I'm going to go listen to some albums. Michael Jackson is inescapable. Everyone knows who Michael Jackson is, um, which is why it's kind of, I think, kind of hard to make a movie about a guy like that. Not that, there shouldn't be movies made about very famous people, but I think it's inherently less interesting to me. I mean, it obviously depends, but when you're making a movie about that is essentially going to be the greatest hits and is about a person that was so prevalent, it's kind of like we already get it. I just don't. It's not for me, but it's also like I don't. I kind of feel the same way, at least a little bit less like aggressive. I feel more aggressive towards the like live action Disney situation going on over there. Like those movies kind of annoy me more than the musical biopic trend, but this is probably second for me as far as like most annoying Hollywood trend. I think most of these movies are bad, and
But when they're good, they're really good.
name one.
Elvis.
That's controversial, but I agree with
I
you.
would disagree,
I was a fan
but
of Elvis, but
That's a 5-star movie for me. I've seen it
damn 5
six
stars.
times.
mm-mm.
I think it's one of the
No.
best movies of the decade. Not to derail us too far.
I kind of agree, low key, but not
Baz
like
Luhrmann's
that
an acquired
emphatically.
taste, I guess.
I just
I
think
guess.
I think like okay, I really quickly. I think the thing that Elvis does well that a lot of these movies fall short on is its visual style is like so distinct and wacky. I mean, Baz Luhrmann is bringing his Baz Luhrmann style to it,
I
and
totally agree.
yeah, that brings a lot to the movie, in my opinion. That is not something that Bohemian Rhapsody had, or a lot of these other movies. Um, but yeah,
For the
that's
record, I don't
that's
think
all I got
Michael's
on
going to be
Michael.
great. Yeah.
You don't think what?
I don't think Michael's going to be great.
I don't think
I
it's
think
gonna be
it's
good
going to
either.
be closer to Bohemian Rhapsody than Elvis, or even like Complete Unknown, which was better than I thought it would be.
I think it is
Um,
going to make $1 zillion though.
Maybe. I could see it like, I mean, I think it'll make like at least like 700 million, but I don't know. I mean, he's the most famous person ever, like literally to ever live. I don't think there's any question about that. But I don't know what's going to get butts and seats, you know?
Yeah. Um,
especially if it's just a very cookie cutter. Because I feel like he's so fit. Like everyone kind of knows enough about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows about the Jackson 5. Everyone knows about all his big albums, big tours. I just don't think this movie's gonna do enough to where it's like, oh, you have to see this. You know?
Yeah.
So obviously they're not gonna touch anything controversial about him. It's gonna be very cookie cutter. If they do touch anything controversial, it's gonna make it look not really that bad. It's gonna kind of make him look like he was misunderstood or something, which is whatever. Which is like it's not for us to decide here today. But I don't know. I don't think this is gonna be as big as we think it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's very possible.
But if it makes $2 billion, I won't be surprised either because it's about Michael Jackson. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's coming out October 3rd. Next up, we got The Black Phone 2, which is the sequel to The Black Phone, starring Mason Thames and Ethan Hawke is returning, coming out October 17th. And next up, we have Good Fortune, which is an Aziz Ansari directed and starring movie. It also stars Seth Rogen and Keanu Reeves, and it's about a struggling man getting life swapped with a wealthy friend by a mystical force. Veer, I know you wanted to talk about this one. What's going on with Good Fortune?
You know, Aziz is my goat. Master of None season 2 and 3, some of the best, TV, especially at that short form, like 22-minute episodes, 30-minute episodes. And he was gonna do a movie a couple years ago, and then Bill Murray had to go and be a weirdo, and that one got shelved.
That whole movie got shelved.
Yeah, that's insane to me, honestly. I think, obviously, not to go too deep into this, but everyone deserves to feel safe. Justice is very important on set, but to go so far in the other direction that if someone, does something wrong, that you just punish everyone for it is like insane to me. Hopefully,
because he was
someone
also
will get a chance
in a
to go
Marvel
back to
movie, like the same year.
He was in Quantumania that same year, yeah.
Bill
I remember
Murray
them
was?
being like,
Yeah, Bill Murray was. Did you see Quantumania, Veer?
God, no.
Yeah, Bill Murray's in that
Lucky
thing.
son of a
Wow,
bitch.
really? I had no idea.
which
Yeah.
I remember when they were marketing that, they were heavy on Bill Murray, which he's very famous. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bold. Like he had his own character posters and what. He's in the movie for like 5 minutes, but if I remember right, but
Yeah, guys like him, Chevy Chase, they're hilarious, but like pretty clearly just awful men. But that's just what happened when you were big in the 70s. I think just a lot of coke came at you in the 80s. But this one, I'm pretty excited for. I think Seth Rogen, when he decides to do something other than what we were talking about way at the beginning, the stuff he did in Superbad and Knocked Up and those, like when he decides to do something a little more like American Pickle, something just a little off, it's actually interesting. Like casting him against type is cool. And obviously we don't know exactly what this role is going to be like, but I hope it's something a little bit different, a little off color for him. And I'm just generally excited for this one for sure.
Yeah, I think it should be cool too. That's coming out October 17th. And next up, we have Bugonia, which is the next Yorgos movie. Yorgos Lanthimos stars Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons, and it is about a high-powered CEO of a major company being kidnapped by conspiracy-obsessed men. And this comes out November 7th. Norman, I know you are a big fan of Yorgos, and you had this on your list.
big fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's on an incredible run. I liked Kind of Kindness. I think it was probably his weakest film, but I still think it's great. I thought Poor Things was phenomenal. The Favorite's great. The Lobster's great. You don't need me to tell you that though. But I'm very excited for this. I think him and Emma Stone, they have just struck gold. I'm glad that they keep collaborating on these movies. This sounds like a really fun premise. Yeah, I know it says here it's a remake of a South Korean film, so maybe I'll do a little homework before and kind of compare. But yeah, I just think this is going to be a great time.
Yep, I am excited for Begonia as well. I think Poor Things is a masterpiece. I really think that movie is one of the greatest. Like looking back, like I didn't think that coming out of it. I was actually kind of like, I guess I was just processing coming out, but I was like, I don't know. I think I liked it, but
We didn't get a single movie that good this year.
yes, I think you're right about that. But yeah, that was just a really great movie, I think, and it's grown on me over time. But yeah,
Willem
that's-
Dafoe is also in this. If you need more reason
yeah.
to be excited.
Of course, Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe is in all the Yorgos and Wes Anderson and Eggers movies, and that seems like all he's gonna do now. And the Green Goblin, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a career for that guy. Next up, we have The Predator: Badlands. This is Dan Trachtenberg's follow-up to Prey. This is set in the future, starring Elle Fanning. Comes out on November 7th. Should be exciting. Prey was cool.
I loved Prey. I'm glad this is coming out in theaters because
Yeah.
I was pissed that Prey was not in theaters because it was so damn good.
Yep. Next up, we have Now You See Me 3. Ariana Greenblatt, Dominic Sessa, and Justice Smith are joining the cast. This comes out on November 14th. I'm not a huge fan of the Now You See Me movies, but this should be... I am a big fan of Dominic Sessa, and I like Justice Smith in Dungeons and Dragons, and I saw the TV Glow. So I think this should be cool. I will be seated for Now You Three Me. Next up, we have The Running Man, which is directed by Edgar Wright, stars Glenn Powell. It is the remake of a 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger film, which was set in 2025 about a wrongly convicted cop who was forced to compete in a TV game show where people are chased by killers. That should be cool as well. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to finish up. We're back, and we're getting Wicked for Good on my birthday, November 21st. Yeah. We talked about Wicked at length on this podcast. I think the reception on the Sneaking Into the Movies podcast was mixed, except for Lincoln, who loved it, obviously.
Shout out Lincoln.
Yeah. But yeah, how are y'all feeling about Wicked?
I liked Wicked 1. And I expect I'll like Wicked 2. I think, this is a movie that, for the sake of getting people out of their seats and having some good numbers, is at times very visually uninspired. But I raise you the last 10 minutes of the movie.
That's fair. I do think that Defying Gravity is the best part of that movie, and Cynthia is like amazing. It's still kind of ugly though for me. Like
yeah.
it's kind of distracting. But I
That
see,
was like
I
the
totally
worst
see.
case of ugly for me.
Yeah, and it kind of like tarnishes like a really fantastic moment. But
hmm
I think
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We're in for another 2 hours of the same looking movie.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if either you learn to put the blinders on for it, or you don't enjoy the movie. I think that's probably what we're looking at for Wicked for Good.
Yeah,
But
I think
I
so.
expect I'll like it enough,
Yeah, and I think most people are, and I'm glad that people can go to a movie like that and enjoy themselves.
I really like what this movie is doing, like culturally.
I 100% agree with you because I didn't really like it walking out of it, and the more I don't really ever think about it, but when I do, I'm not excited for the second one, but it is very cool when a movie can just capture the culture and be a really big moment.
It's been a fun moment for sure.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's been a fun moment, even though I'm not crazy about the movie. It's just
Yeah.
it's
For
just
sure.
fun. Like when you see anybody, especially like this time of year, like Thanksgiving, like Christmas, Hanukkah, all the holidays, you go and see a bunch of people you don't see a lot, and everyone's seen a movie, and y'all can all talk about it. And it's just
And I
something
would
everyone's
expect a
excited for.
similar. I'd expect a similar moment, November of 2025.
Yeah, it'll
it's
whether you
not
probably
like
be
even
it or not.
bigger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, that's Wicked for Good on November 21st. Should be interesting. Next up we have Zootopia 2 on November 26th. I don't got much to say about Zootopia 2. I think it's Zootopia 1 is a fine movie.
yeah, it's cute.
But yeah. And next up we have the creme de la creme of the year. We have the Christmas or near Christmas releases. First one being Avatar: Fire and Ash,
Woo!
December 19th.
I'm done doubting Mr. Jimmy.
Yeah, Big
I'm
Jim.
done.
I'm so happy to hear that because the whole ride to Avatar 2 was.
I was a
people-
hater.
Yeah, that's fine. Everyone was. We were. I feel like me, Max, and a lot of people were the silent minority of people who knew Avatar 2 was going to come out and change the world, and it was so damn good. And I think this one will just. Yeah, this will probably be like the blockbuster of the year once again.
Hell yeah. Sully stick together. Let's
Sully
get it
stick
done.
together.
All the
Mhm.
quotes. But yeah, I'm immeasurably excited about Avatar: Fire and Ash. As the title suggests, I think we're getting red Na'vi fire people. That sounds pretty sick.
Yeah, and apparently they kind of stuck. Like, I think James Cameron something along the lines of, yeah, like this, like not a Na'vi civil war per se, but that they're kind of going to be the antagonists. Because obviously in Avatar 2, like the water Na'vi weren't excited about Jake and everyone being there, but I wouldn't call them antagonists or anything.
Yeah, and I think that we also, what we haven't seen is like everything that's presented about the Na'vi is like they're this utopian culture that has no problems and they are one with nature, and they're in the water and they're in the forest and all of this stuff is, acts in harmony with each other, and nothing ever goes wrong except for when the humans come. It'll be cool to see how the Na'vi are not so different from the humans. And it'll be cool to see some red ones. I think that'll just be cool, design-wise.
Did you just say red one?
Shit.
Now
But yeah,
that's
I
what
mean-
we should be talking about. I think we
That's-
just saved Christmas.
That's a real movie right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Think we just saved Christmas.
But I mean, I'm gonna have Quadric back on my IMAX screen again. Like, how can I not be stupidly excited for this movie?
Yeah.
There's zero doubt in my mind that this will be anything less than fantastic.
Yeah, this will be sick. Next up, we have On Christmas. Timothy Chalamet unofficially owns Christmas, I guess. He's had
Works for me.
yeah, Marty Supreme
And Shadow.
Yeah, and Shadow, obviously. But yeah, Timothy Chalamet has had a movie come out on Christmas for, Wonka came out last year, A Complete Unknown came out this year, and next year we will have Marty Supreme, which is an A24 film directed by Josh Safdie about a 1950s ping pong ball champ. It also stars Gwyneth Paltrow and a bunch of people who it's just a very interesting cast. You have Tyler the Creator, you have Fran Drescher, you have Penn Jillette, and you have Kevin O'Leary. A bunch of unconventional choices for this movie. It'll be really exciting to see Tyler the Creator in a movie, though. That will be very fun
Yeah,
and cool.
that's what I'm most excited about.
And playing off of Timothy Chalamet. That pairing is going to be great.
Yeah,
Shout
I
out Lil
kind
B.
of. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Base God.
Shout out Lil B.
But yeah, I kind of keep forgetting this is coming out. Not this is something. Like, obviously, I get more and more excited the more we see, but every time I do remember, especially, yeah, I think it was the Nardwuar interview with Timmy, where he was talking about acting alongside Tyler the Creator, and I'm just like, oh shit, like this is happening. And it's from Josh Safdie, who made Uncut Gems. Need I say more?
You don't. It's
I
going to
don't
be
believe
great.
so.
So yeah, that is all of the movies in 2025 that have a release date that are. Yeah, that's not every movie that's going to come out, but it's a lot of movies from 2025 that are important and that we are excited for. Some movies that don't have a release date, though, are pretty big too, and that would be Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. We think that's coming out next year. Stars Oscar Isaac as Dr. Frankenstein and Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein's monster. It
A
also
little bit on
stars
the nose, no?
also stars Mia Goth and Christoph Waltz. And the release date is TBD. Like I said, Guillermo del Toro, obviously a great filmmaker. This should be really exciting. Norman, what are you thinking?
I'm very excited for this. Obviously, we all made our own list of the movies we're most looking forward to this year, and this one was on mine. I think Del Toro has been an incredible director for damn near 30 years, but even the last couple of years, I thought his Pinocchio movie was incredible. One of my favorite animated movies the last couple of years. Maybe animation can be cinema. Obviously, The Shape of Water, that movie was incredible. I'm sad this is a Netflix movie.
Didn't know that.
Sorry. Hey, Pinocchio was also.
Yeah,
But-
and so is the other movie on this list.
That is true, yeah, which will also probably be good. But yeah, I'm very excited for this. Frankenstein's sick. Obviously, there's a million different Frankensteins you can pull from, but it's very cool that GDT, who obviously does a lot of monster and fantasy stuff, like this just feels like right up his alley. Like this is a match made in heaven. I like the cast. I really like Oscar Isaac, Dr. Frankenstein. I can see it already. Jacob Elordi is a great pick for the monster. So, yeah, we will be there.
Yeah, our next movie is Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, starring Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc, and joining him this time will be Josh O'Connor, Andrew Scott, Glenn Close, Jeremy Renner, Mila Kunis, and Kerry Washington. Obviously very excited about this one. I love Knives Out. Glass Onion is really good too. And this cast is really great, just like all the other ones.
I think you should also mention Josh Brolin and Kaylee Spaney off the top of my head are also in this movie.
I forgot them. I don't know how that happened, but that is exciting. I love Kaylee
Damn,
Spaney.
that's a cast, bro.
Yeah, Priscilla, Alien Romulus, Civil War. She's been doing a lot of great work lately. And this is obviously directed by Rian Johnson, who is a really good director. But yeah, that's like all of the movies, I think, unless y'all have anything else to say about Knives Out.
Prayers up for Jeremy Renner.
Yeah,
That's about it.
yeah.
That's not
there's
really
a
related to the
rumor
movie, but
that
They-
he's playing himself in this movie.
He's playing himself.
Ah,
It's a rumor. I think there was some kind of prop or something that had Jeremy Renner on it.
please,
which-
please.
that would be
Please.
like the best thing ever. I'm just bummed out. I wish there was an app that we could talk about Jeremy Renner's role in this movie. But
Perhaps the fabled Jeremy Renner app is what you're looking for. The now non-existent Jeremy Renner.
I don't know.
app.
I hope that's true. Good chance it's not. Sorry if I got y'all's hopes up, but I just remember seeing that somewhere. And yeah, I don't know. I think Rian Johnson is a fantastic director and a very, very good writer. I think this is a great cast. These movies are fun. They're fun to look forward to. I think Glass Onion was definitely a step down from Knives Out, but I think that first Knives Out is just pure gold, from the cast, the location, to the writing, to the story, just really fucking good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This will be a fun time. It'll probably hit around the holidays, I'm guessing. It won't, but hopefully it gets a wider release than Glass Onion did, because I'm very fortunate I got to see that in a packed movie theater. I don't know if this would have the same impact if I just watched it at home. But yeah, I'm always excited for a new Knives Out mystery.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna guess this
Love
one's
that.
gonna be somewhere in between A little. I think it'll be above Glass Onion and not as good as Knives Out. That's my guess for right now.
Yeah, that's kind of the hope. I think that's the best we can ask for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
I
that
think
Glass Onion
it'll
was
be-
bad or anything, but
Yeah,
it's definitely. I don't know. He really just struck gold with that first one, and I think it'll be hard to ever top that.
agreed.
Agreed. That is all of the 2025 releases that we were going to talk about. Yeah, what are y'all's if you had to pick a one, what is the movie y'all are going to be really excited for going into 2025?
It's Sinners. It's Sinners.
I think I'm going to pick Sinners too.
Yeah.
That
Kubo's
or-
my guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cheat. It's actually Mickey 17, but it's low-key Fantastic Four, just because I love those characters so much. But I'm very worried about that movie, so I'm just gonna say Mickey 17. I can't wait.
I think I'm gonna say Marty Supreme. Sinners would be the pick if it was Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan.
And
Man, whatever. You should, he shouldn't have told me about that shit.
Yeah. Hopefully, my
sorry,
Jeremy
man, I'm
Renner
sorry.
Knives Out doesn't age terribly. Hopefully, that's the case. And yeah, but
yeah.
this is looking like a great year.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited, yeah.
I think 2024 was pretty weak. I think there were some great movies, but I think they were very spread thin throughout the year. Obviously, there's some stinker patches it's looking like this year, but it's looking like every month there's something to be pretty excited for.
We haven't even seen a lot of the movies that are supposed to be like the best movies of the year yet because they come out in January, or they're like held for awards purposes, like The Brutalist, Nickel Boys, Sing Sing. Nor like we haven't been able to see that. Y'all are in LA, so or not right now, but y'all are usually in LA, so you could probably. I think The Brutalist and Sing Sing and all that stuff is out there, but
I'm in San Marcos, Texas.
Yeah.
We don't get anything here. And
A little bit
even-
tougher to find. A little bit
Yeah,
tougher.
even like Austin doesn't get as much. Like The Brutalist is not showing till next week, and I've been checking my phone literally every day, just praying that I get a screening within an hour from me. But yeah, no, this is shaping up to be a good year.
I think so.
hell yeah! And
I mean, obviously, and there's so many movies that we won't know about until they come out. That'll also be fantastic.
Exactly.
That's always my favorite part of the year. This is looking like a great year blockbuster wise. The stuff that you know about years in advance that you get excited for, which 2024 was heavily lacking. Other than a couple really good movies that both take place in the desert.
yeah. Well, I mean, one of them was culturally relevant, one was not.
But
you
which
like?
one was better?
That's. I was gonna ask that. I was gonna say which one did you like more? That'll be a discussion for the top 10. But
It may
yeah.
surprise you.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that surprising to me personally. Maybe to everyone else that's listening, but
It's because
Yeah.
no one saw it.
but yeah, that's gonna be the most anticipated movies of the year for the Sneaking into the Movies podcast. I think we're gonna sign off here unless y'all have anything else to say. I think we're good.
Thank y'all for joining us.
So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for sneaking in. We hope you come with us next time.